Let me free and I will do it.
Alright. You're not fucking stupid. Huh?
How can I find outside?
That's the plan. I thought this was really funny in a very dark humor kind of way. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done in this kind of, you have these kind of competing, you know, motivations behind it, where you have this hitman who has found a way to take emotion out of what he does and just kills because that is his job and that's what he's been hired to do, and he takes it relatively seriously, obviously, but you know, he's still a friend and he still has connections in the world. And that, you know, on the opposite side of that, you have this friend who is at his absolute rock bottom and is desperate and cannot see another way out. And having those two things kind of like be at odds with each other, of this hitman that only does it as a job and is unwilling to cross that line when it comes to somebody that he actually knows, that he has some sort of connection with, and the desperation of a man to take care of his family in the only way that he sees is a viable option. And just those two things that are kind of, you know, like I said, at odds with each other, I thought was really, really intriguing. And like I said, I thought it was funny in a, you know, dark humor kind of way, obviously because he does die and he dies in a kind of funny way. But it did make me curious of like, was that enough to seem like your death was an accident, and like would then the insurance policy or whatever you had going on still be okay, like still take effect? Like, so it's a quite random way to die. But then, you know, even all of his protests and everything, the hitman still ended up causing his, you know, his death, and whether he knows it or not in the long run. I thought it was a really fun, in, like I said, in a dark humor kind of way, but you had these like really different, you know, motivations that were at odds with each other, and they like could not come to an agreement in the end, but it also didn't matter in the end.
That's the plan. I really liked the story for this. I think that there were so many parts of it that were really tongue-in-cheek. They had a great script. I liked what they did. I thought it was really cool how they decided to do a desaturated color scheme on it with color splashes in certain areas. It had a very Sin City kind of a vibe to it. So I think that was really cool. I like their music choices. There was one part where the music abruptly stopped in the beginning, and that was a little jarring, but I understand why. There were a couple of things that kind of made me stop and go, well, hang on a second. The shovel. I didn't understand, if he wasn't going to bury her, then why bring the shovel? It just kind of seemed like a plot point that wasn't needed. Just take her out, walk her down the road, shoot her, walk back. It's fine. But yeah, I thought that this was done really well. So congratulations.
I like that's a plan. I thought it was creative. I thought this might be my favorite, like Hitman style, assassin style, like criminal underworld type film that I've seen in a while. Like humorous but also serious. I like the black and white choice, the writing, and then the ending is fantastic. 10 out of 10, gold, like perfect. Like you couldn't great writing. Like you like 10 out of 10, no notes, perfection with the ending, because it's like, did he do it on purpose? Leave him thinking, pull the rug out, break expectations. Great short film. Like this is how you end a short film right there. Like that's great. 10 out of 10, great job.
That's the plan. This film thrives on atmosphere. It leans into what I would call like Eastern European crime thriller aesthetic, in that it's cold, has muted tones, deliberate pacing, and of course plenty of cigarettes. The slow editing and restrained cinematography build an unsettling mood, creating a quiet tension as a man leads a woman to a secret location for a killing and then deals with the consequences. Visually, it's quite striking. The detached framing gives the story a sense of inevitability, and the film trusts the audience to sit with the tension. While the performances and dialogue don't always match the strength of its visuals, the film still manages to create an eerie, almost hypnotic atmosphere. And so I saw it as a stylistic and a stylish exercise in suspense, one that lingers even after the credits roll.